I happen to have it on pretty good authority that this golf ball in my hand is the #1 selling golf ball for mid to high handicap golfers ever. And let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here guys. The #1 selling ball ever for mid to high handicap golfers. You can tell it's a little bit breezy today here at Woolley Park Golf Club, but that's perfect because these golf balls aren't that expensive. Well, if you can, you might have already seen it, but we'll get to it. You see guys, to be a good golf ball for mid to high handicap golfers, it needs to be a certain ball. It needs to have a certain quality, and it also needs to have a certain price, which these do. We shall go from the yellow tees today because this is a mid to high handicap ball. Oh, how good is that? That was lovely. And the authority that I know this from, wow, that was really good, is, well, it's myself, it's me. I'm the source. You see guys, before the days of grinding it out on YouTube, making daily golf related videos for you guys to love, something like that, I worked in the pro shop. I used to do 30-40 hours a week, really enjoyed it, got on well with all the members and started to learn the buying habits of all the members and all the senior members and the rabbits and the high handicaps and the low handicaps and the juniors and everyone. And the golf ball that stood out the most, and it always has done, isn't maybe what you would expect. It's not a Titleist, it's not a Taylormade, it's not even a Callaway. And in fact, the company who makes this golf ball have just released the 10th, that's right, the 10th iteration of this golf ball. That's how long they've been selling, that's how much people have loved them. Guys, comment below, what do you think this ball is? I'm going to show you in a second, but comment below and let me know what you think it is. Also drop us a like if you want, because that's always nice. That's shots. How good is that drive, by the way, with a 3-wood, using the #1 selling ball for mid to high handicap golfers? Like I said, I'm the source for that, so it's probably, I don't know, I feel like it is. I feel like when I was selling them back in the pro shop, these were, I'm going to cut to the chase guys, it's the Srixon AD333 or the AD333. Like I said, this, I thought I could catch it. Like I said, this is the 10th iteration of this ball, and they used to just sell like absolute hotcakes. So let's discuss what Srixon have changed about this ball and why it is, for me, such an interesting golf ball. Move that back in the stance a bit. Oh, please get over that bunker. Oh, it has, wonderful. And funnily enough, it wasn't just mid-high handicap golfers. It was a lot of people were using these balls back in the day as their kind of winter ball, if that makes sense. Let's be fair, it's a cheap ball. They're around about £20 a dozen. And I remember everyone saying they feel so soft, they feel so premium, yet they're fairly cheap. I mean, if you look at the performance I've got there, that's a very, very, very good golf shot to a tight tucked away flag, and we really didn't want to go in there. So for that price point of around £20, you've got, do you need any more performance than that? And this is going to be quite an interesting video because I'm interested to see what Srixon have changed as well. We've seen the introduction of spin skin with CERM. I have said that right, and that's the same spin skin with CERM that's on the Z-Star and the Z-Star XV. 338 dimples, fast layer core, spin skin. I mean, the technology is just bouncing out the CERM. Let's see if we can roll in a birdie with this #1 selling golf ball. Alignment aid on this, it's a nice thick blue line. It's always had the blue text on it, the AD333 or the AD333. Guys, comment below, how do you pronounce it? There'll be some interesting comments in there because you can't pronounce anything in writing, James. But I love the look of that down at a putter. I love how white the golf ball is, which is actually, turn, please turn. Oh, James. Which is actually something which I know everyone's saying, well, golf balls are white, but there's something about the Srixon white that just looks better. I almost said in the Z-Star video, it's like a blue colour in the air, which, as long as the sky's not blue, which it is wonderful. Right, next hole, par. Guys, whilst you're in the comments as well telling me how to pronounce the AD333 or the AD333, how much do you like to spend on a golf ball and what's your handicap? It'd be nice to build a bit of a correlation to see, do low handicaps spend more money on golf balls? Do high handicappers spend less? That's the same thing. But also, does it depend on how many golf balls you lose around? Because I think this is the perfect ball for someone like Foxy, who wants to use a new golf ball, doesn't really want to use an old one that's a bit battered, likes the idea of it feeling soft, but doesn't want to spend an absolute fortune when you might be losing 2, 3, 4. Foxy, if you're watching, a lot at the minute. I'm sure that's not the minority either, because, oh, broke my tee. When you think you're on a roll. Oh, let's marry this up with the ultimate mid-handicap tee peg as well. Because if there was ever a match made in heaven, that's it. Into the wind. Let's try and keep this ball down a little bit. Sometimes cheaper balls can rise up in the wind a bit too much. Oh, stay there. Actually okay, it came out a bit low left, but certainly didn't rise up. Let's talk changes. A premium lower compression golf ball that delivers a superior balanced performance for golfers who demand exceptional distance feel and greenside control from a 2-piece golf ball. 2-piece. And you see, this is where Srixon really haven't kind of spoiled the broth really. They've kept it mega simple, they've been able to keep the price down because R&D hasn't gone through the roof, also whilst delivering on the box softer feel, long distance, mid to high flight, a 2-piece construction, mid to high greenside spin, and a low driver spin, which, I mean, you're ticking all the boxes there for people, aren't you? Realistically, that's what you want. You want it soft around the greens, you want low driver spin, or most people do anyway, and ultimately with it being half the price of a Titleist Pro V1, a TP5, if there's a group behind you like there is for me now, and you can't quite see it, you don't mind just kind of chucking one down. So that's what we'll do. And that's not me saying for 1 second that just because they're a bit cheaper, you can go willy-nilly with chucking them down, but with them being a bit cheaper, you can go a little bit willy-nilly, I suppose, if that's even a phrase, with not worrying about finding them all. And I think that's probably the reasoning for them being so well selling. I'm from Yorkshire, I've always worked in Yorkshire when it comes to golf, and people want value, they want to feel like they're getting a deal, they want to feel like they're not being kind of fleeced a little bit. So when you say it's £20 a dozen instead of 40, and then you hear how much, that's generally a good thing because it means that they're happy, I think. And the performance is pretty good as well. For a 2-piece, what's basically, oh, that could be close, that, unless it's long. But what could essentially be a range ball feels fantastic. And I think the feel is the main reason why they've sold so well. Remember, number 1. And all the while, the guys behind me have only just stepped on the tee. So really, not only am I saving a fortune, but I've had an absolute dream there. And I know it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, me saying it's the #1 selling ball for high to mid handicap golfers, but if today's golfer can have their best sellers, so can I, and this was it. That's just released out a little bit far, so we pitched here, we were out the rough to be fair, and that's where we finished. If that was a more expensive golf ball, would it have stopped close to the flag? Maybe, but I should have just been hitting out the fairway instead of the rough, because that's generally what it boils down to, isn't it? The pilot and not the object. Can we get a bit of spin here to stop it? Turn, turn! Oh, that's run out a bit. See, now we've got this for par, and that's not ideal. Well, it's not even for par, is it, actually, because we lost that ball, so actually it doesn't matter that much. We've already made kind of double or whatever we've made on the scorecard. I do like how they've modernised it. I like how they've modernised even the line on it and stuff like that. It definitely gives you a better visual. I blocked that one though. The #1 selling ball for James Robinson. Right, final hole, let's make a birdie. We are pretty low handicap, to be fair. If you haven't seen my handicap, by the way, guys, that video is now live. So this is by no means the #1 selling golf ball for myself, but on the final hole of the video, and get in the comments below, either way, if you agree, if you play this ball, let me know. But if you don't play this ball, what do you play if you are a mid to high handicap golfer? Because I want to know your #1 selling ball. And then we might do a video on that. I definitely think it's this. Or maybe it's just the #1 Yorkshire ball. I think these always used to be prizes in junior day as well, didn't they? Come on. Big drive off the yellows. Don't leave a lot in. That's perfect. Well, I really enjoyed that. It's actually been a nice ball flight. From what I remember, I thought it might spin up a bit, but if that's one of the changes they've introduced to this year's ball, 10th iteration. 10! It's a lot of balls. And in fairness, let's not forget the golf balls that make up the Srixon family, because there's the red ones, the Distance. They used to sell pretty well. I think they're even cheaper and still are even cheaper than the AD 333. We used to have the soft feel, the green box. They used to sell well. Then obviously you'd go into the Z-Star, you'd go into the Z-Star XV. And generally what you'd find is the golfers that were buying the AD 333, if they had some twos money or they won a competition, they might treat themselves and delve into another ball, but you'd stay with Srixon because you just fell in love with the AD 333. I'm well aware I keep calling it different things, but I don't know the real name, so I'm covering all bases, is what we could go with there. I mean, as we walk down the 18th fairway, can we take a minute, because that is a massive drive. I know we've gone yellow tees, but that was into the wind as well. Oh, Srixon AD 333. Can we make a birdie? We're gonna have to like saw off the landing zone here is tiny. Can we saw off a little gap wedge? Also guys, let us know who'd be interested to see a launch monitor test with these balls, maybe against the Z-Star XV or just against the Pro V1. That's the wrong club, James. It needs to be a sand wedge. Ooh, in fact, let's go lob wedge, because I've not seen Chris for a while, so. Please go. Please go a bit. Oh, it's just that far short. Nobody tell Chris. He was pleased with me the other day in the lesson. Well, the video started so promisingly, but I do feel like I've shed a bit of light on, for me, what was definitely a very popular product when I was working in the pro shop. I mean, a long time, probably 10 years ago. It was the Srixon AD 333 and the Ping G400 driver. G400? What was it before that? No, it was the G30 driver. The colour schemes matched perfectly, but yeah, what a time to be alive. It's like a trip down memory lane. I'm even going to put this guy, no I'm not, who am I kidding? Lob wedge. Come on, for birdie. I haven't chipped in for a while. Oh, it felt so delightfully soft. Taking every positive under the sun for that one. And that is, guys, for me, the #1 selling golf ball for mid to high handicap golfers ever in the James Robinson sales list. That's a 4. That has took a beating. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, make sure you smash that subscribe button below and also ring the notification bell, because a lot of people are commenting saying that you're not getting notified for the daily uploads at 1 PM UK time. So make sure you do. Apart from that, that is the same time I will see you tomorrow. Bye!